Are you sick and tired of gambling your hard-earned money on Madden packs? Look no further than my sponsor, MMOEXP, for the cheapest and most reliable MUT coins on the market. And don't forget to use code Ferdy at checkout for 5% off. What's going on, guys? Today we have our first update to the safety tier list here in Madden 24. And of course, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, turn those notifications. And if you want a chance to be shouted out in the next video, let's comment the tiger emoji. Comment the tiger emoji for a chance to be shouted out in the next one. But yes, let's just get started. The first card up is Elliott, 6'1", 210, and this card is going to be used best as an over-the-top safety. 85 speed right now. We do have 88 speed safeties in the game. We had one in August, and we got one yesterday. And I feel like the progression in this game has been, I don't feel that way. It's a fact. It's just been very slow. Even though the overall progression's been slow, even the stat progression's been honestly even slower. But Elliott, 85 speed on a 25, he's pretty decent. Whether you have a Campus Heroes team or a Dolphins or a Lions or a Ravens team, this card could definitely be a user. But with that zone coverage, I like him over the top. But even with the tackling stats, with where his speed is right now, I would probably, when he first came out, he was definitely able to play over the top. And now I would definitely use him in the box. So as far as Elliott goes, we're going to put him at A tier at the bottom end of it, but a pretty solid card. Good size, good stats, decent speed. A tier for Elliott. And next up, we have Ronnie Hickman, a card that probably no one has tried or used unless you have a Browns theme team, but he's actually pretty good. If you throw him on a 25 theme team, 87 speed, but 86 speed. At this point, no theme team. You really don't have a choice unless you're buying one of the top tier safeties, which we're going to talk about in a second. 86 speed, probably better in the box. He is 6'1" and can tackle very well, and he's 209, so probably best as a user, but has really good zone coverage, and even 80 man is pretty good. So Hickman, I like this card. I do like this card, so I'm going to put Ronnie Hickman at A tier in front of Cameron Curl with that 86 speed and good, and good tackling stats, good zone, good height. It's a no-brainer. He's top of A tier. Next up, we have 85 overall Jason Pinnock with 86 speed, 88 acceleration, 88 jumping. A good mix of man and zone, and stat-wise, as far as the tackling goes, I've been using this card, and you can definitely feel the lack of his tackling. Although he is 6'1" at 204, you guys can't see it there, but Giants and Jets chems, and also chems are not that great. This card, I don't know how long he's on my team for. I really don't know. Of course, you guys know I have a 25 Jets theme team. Even with 87 speed on my theme team, I'm not sure how long this card stays because he doesn't feel solid, and especially in a game where the run game is super effective. Unless you're getting into those super heavy formations, you need safeties that can tackle. There's no way around it. So I was trying Pinnock over the top. He feels good as a user, but once once someone runs at him, he's going to get pancaked, or he's going to get ran over, or he's going to get juked. It's one of those things that are going to happen to this card. So Jason Pinnock, he's still A tier, and that just goes to show you how kind of thin this position is right now in this game, or how kind of top heavy it is, because we have so many good safeties, but then underneath that, there isn't many good average guys that you could really use, and you're going to see that on today's tier list. But Pinnock, he's solid. The only problem is, if you run a lot like dime, for example, you need your safeties to be able to tackle, and you actually rely on them almost every single carry to make a tackle. So yeah, Pinnock, I'm not too sure where he fits on many teams, maybe like a slot corner. He is 6'1", so his height's always pretty valuable, but yeah, mid A tier for Pinnock. And it is very rare to see a team captain actually good at his position, but Eric Berry is top tier at his position. Most of you guys, I would probably say 80% of people have some kind of 25 out of 50 theme team, so I'm going to act like this card has 87 speed, basically. But yeah, good acceleration, good man coverage for a safety, which is very rare. So if you want to use him down in the box as a slot corner, he's a big W there. He's also 6'212" and can tackle. So this card can play over the top, can maybe even play a little bit of slot corner for you, but also can be your user over the top slot corner user. Good versatility here. Eric Berry should be the team captain you have upgraded for sure to that 88 overall. And then, like I said, on a 25 theme team, you have 88 acceleration with 87 speed. That's tough to beat right there, man. And he's got size and all that stuff. Abilities aren't the best, but no one really has crazy abilities right now. No one really has anything worth, maybe like pick artist, but he does get that. So Eric Berry, I'm going to put him ahead of Ed Reed. As long as they keep upgrading these team captains, Eric Berry could be one of the best safeties throughout basically the whole year. And next up, we have Cam Chancellor. And Cam Chancellor can be one of two things. If you are running a lot of zero blitzes, that means you're sending everybody and everyone's playing man coverage. I would use Cam Chancellor because you simply cannot rely on him as, an over-the-top safety if you run a lot of zero. You can rely on him as an over-the-top safety if you're running a lot of cover 3, cover 2, maybe cover 2 man, you could definitely rely on him there with that 87 zone coverage. And like I said earlier, if you run a lot of those lighter formations in this year's game, you're going to need your safeties to be able to tackle. So having a guy like Cam Chancellor over the top, there's so much value in this. 88 tackling, 90 block shed. I mean, he literally has better block shed than the brand new Danielle Hunter that came out today, which is crazy, at safety. So this card, crazy against the run. A really good user, I would say, all around. Even if you are running zone and you have some of the, if you have some of those safeties that play good over the top, and that's kind of what they're good at, then you can definitely use your Cam Chancellor if you feel comfortable with that. But I think he's still too good as an over-the-top guy, where you can kind of use like a slower card as your user still, and because you're still going to benefit a lot from using Cam Chancellor as your user. Although the card came out in August, I mean, card progression, like I said, is just so slow in this game, where, Cam Chancellor, I'm going to put him in front of Eric Berry. Yes, Eric Berry can do more, but I feel like Cam Chancellor is elite at stopping the run, and also he's 6'3", so he's an elite user as well. So I'm gonna put him in front of Eric Berry. Both cards are very good, but yeah, with how cards are progressing, I'm surprised that Cam Chancellor is still a viable option as an over-the-top guy. So next up, we have Jessie Bates, and where you're gonna want to use this card is as an over-the-top safety, and that's really it. He has decent tackling stats, but for me, as a user, I like having that little bit of punch in my user because dudes are running the ball, and with how running backs just fall forward in this game, you want to have that little extra weight, and we'll talk more about that in a second on a card later in the video. But Jessie Bates, 87 speed with good acceleration, 89 zone coverage, is going to play amazing in this game. Also good COD, which does help him react to zones, and good awareness, which also, awareness is always a good stat to have, and then play rec also good for play actions and things like that. So over the top, Jessie Bates is definitely solid. Put him in a middle third, put him on a quarter. Card's going to play well over the top in coverage. If you have a Bengals or Falcons team, this card is elite. He's definitely elite. I wish his tackling stats were a little bit better, and also I kind of wish he had at least maybe 80 man, so you could kind of stress him and use him like that. But again, if you're running 0, Jessie Bates over the top is definitely a tough card to use because of that low man coverage. If you're running 0 with a guy like, I don't know, Eric Berry over the top, you're going to be just fine. Or not just fine, it's still obviously tough to do, but you will be okay. I'm gonna put him like kind of at Ed Reed's level, but you'd be okay with Eric Berry because he at least has good enough man coverage where he can hold his own every once in a while if you shade. But guys like Jessie Bates and Cam Chancellor, they're not holding their own regardless of where you shade or what you do. And next up, we have Sean Taylor, and even though this card came out August 31st, he's still top tier at his position. He's easily still top tier, and it's crazy how good the Campus Hero drop was compared to every single drop we got in September. I mean, it's honestly laughable. But Sean Taylor, 88 speed, 87 acceleration, good jumping, good COD, 90 zone coverage, and as you guys can see right there, 55 man is absolutely criminal on this card. But good tackling, good hit power, good block shed. I currently use this card in my scheme. I do mix in a good amount of 0, and even when I do run my too high man coverage, Sean Taylor does okay against running backs. I mean, the speed's good enough to run with running backs that just kind of shoot into the flats. However, if you got a tight end on him, or if you got a RB apprentice out there and they're running Texas routes, Sean Taylor really can't compete. So I do kind of move Sean Taylor around, whether it's over the top or as the user. But as the user, this card plays really good. You don't really have that problem with running backs kind of falling forward. With his weight and his strength, and even his his tackling stats and hit power, he does drive ball carriers back a very good amount. And also, he animates like crazy. I mean, this guy jumps to the sky to catch footballs, probably with that 90 jumping. But Sean Taylor, 6'2", 220. It's crazy. Yeah, he's still top tier. This card came out a month ago, and he's still one of the best. Not the best, but one of the best at his position. And finally, last but not least, we have the best card in this game right now, and that is Isaiah Simmons. He's the best card across offense and defense. He's number 1. By just putting him in your lineup, you automatically get +1 zone coverage. And if you add the rest of the M-Force guys, you can even get him +1 press and +1 man coverage. But this card does 3 things very elite. Can obviously be a very elite over-the-top safety with 88 speed and great zone coverage. And also can tackle, like I said, if you need your safeties to rely on your safeties to tackle, this card is ideal. The block shed is a little bit low though. The block shed is definitely low, but that pursuit is really, really nice. So this card can also play corner, slot corner, if you want to, if you're running those cornerback blitzes and you're kind of mixing it up, whether you're dropping the cornerback into a blitz, dropping into a flat, or even putting him in man-to-man coverage. Isaiah Simmons is really good for that. He'll get to the quarterback super fast. He's big. He will tackle, and if he's coming in free, that block shed doesn't matter. And finally, as a user, is where this card I think is going to be best. I mean, he's 6'4", 238 pounds. And one thing I felt on his core elite card was his elite ability to stop the run And that wasn't even because of his stats. That was because of his size. The dude is 6'4", 240. So basically a linebacker, but animates like a safety. And that right there is glitchy in itself. For abilities, you don't even really need to put any abilities on this man. He'll play great by himself. But he is the best card in this game. And regardless what you're doing on defense, you can find a spot, and you should find a spot for Isaiah Simmons. He's going for, a pretty good penny, about 700K right now. Hopefully he continues to drop. I want to get him for my team. But Isaiah Simmons, if I could put an S+ tier, I would put him there because, he's more well-rounded than every other safety at S tier. There should be an S+ tier. There should be. But yeah, my top 5 safeties right now in Madden 24. Simmons at 1, Shanti at 2, Cam at 3, Eric Berry at 4, and Ed Reed at number 5. And hopefully we start ramping up this content here, man, because, it's crazy. It's crazy what's going on right now in this game. It feels like EA actually wants people to stop playing the game, especially after this Gridiron Guardians drop. The only good card was Isaiah Simmons that came out yesterday. So, yeah, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, turn those notifications, and as always, I will see you boys in the next one.